Bill Stevens, Pole Place Edison. First question is, when a council person asks for language to be looked at in legislation, and I'm thinking about the redevelopment agency, and your boss is saying that he didn't do it, the redevelopment attorney is actually doing it, whose responsibility is it to make sure he gets that information? I would think it would be the attorney, whoever the attorney, I don't mean to be picking on you, you just happen to be the attorney sitting there right now. But the attorney at this meeting, it should be his responsibility to get that information back. I'm not saying it's his responsibility to say whether it's right or wrong, but definitely to get that information to the other attorney to make sure he took that into consideration before we got the rubber stamp treatment. So I think that, you know, again, I know there was a big raise involved here, and I don't know whether you got one or not, but it's like people are not living up to their salary levels here. They're not sending, even if they come back and said, we looked at all of these things and we disagree with them, then you're doing your job. But not to, you know, to say we don't know if he ever got it, or it's unacceptable. All right, a couple quick things. Financial statements. Who's responsible to determine now that whether they're right or not? It used to be that they went to the clerk's office. Then when we created an ethics board, it got a little confusing. It's who is actually responsible. And then once the president of the ethics board resigned, it even got more confusing. But who is responsible to make sure that the information put there is correct?
Mr. Holbart, can you help us with that?
In terms of the information, I'm not sure that anyone actually has to verify the information. Honestly, I'm not familiar. I'll defer to the attorney. Without a local ethics board, the municipal clerk is responsible for collecting those items. I honestly don't know how it would work under.
Yeah, but if there's, and I just mean incomplete. I realize nobody can tell whether the information is right or wrong. I don't expect anybody to investigate anybody. But incomplete information, if somebody filled out half a line or something in the information, who's responsible is to let them know that they didn't fill out the whole line, or there was additional information required on a specific line.
I don't know the answer.
Yeah, and it's a little unfair that I directed that to you, and I'm sorry, sir, because it did come to the clerk's office, and they did collect them. That I know.
All right.
So,
No, but if they're
as far as
wrong,
the checking-
I mean, it's
as far as
unfair to the
checking,
council
I don't
members.
know.
You have a lot of new council members up
Right.
there, and if somebody filled something out wrong, somebody should make them aware of the fact that it's not filled out correctly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The other, next question is, a couple of meetings ago, we talked about bringing our multiple-way stop signs into the ordinance book. We have a section in our ordinance book for multiple-way stops, and there are no streets there at all, yet every time I blink my eyes in Edison, I hit another 3- or 4-way stop sign. Why haven't we memorialized them? Why aren't they in our code book?
Council President, my understanding of the three-way stop signs, it works is there has to be a certification by the township engineer, and then the township engineer would have to send that down to Trenton. And I believe then we wait for something from the DOT to confirm the necessity for the traffic stop, and then it goes into the books. Otherwise, if it goes in the books ahead of time and it's unenforceable, it might as well not even be in the book.
All
I
right,
think
then
they just-
why are we putting them up until we get that certification? I mean, we have, and I know a couple of people sitting up there, they're not right around the corner from their house almost, but they're up all over the town, and some of them have been up quite a long time. And we're in a horrendously liable situation if somebody comes through one of them and kills somebody. Because I think they're all illegal. And all I'm saying is, I don't disagree with them being there. I used to live in Virginia for a short period of time, and Maryland and Virginia had 4-way stop signs all over. And I think they can definitely help. But the point is, we don't want them helping if they haven't been memorialized and they haven't been done according to the rules. And it seems that these haven't. And like I said, the recent ones I could say, all right, but it seems to me you should have to get the documentation in place, put the ordinance in before you put the sign up. That's my only point. And I wish somebody would look into that because it could cost us a lot more money than firing a couple secretaries. All right, Easy Pass, we still don't know where they came from, right? They fell out of the sky? I'll do that in the form of a question if you like. Did we find out yet where we got our Easy Passes from?
Do we know, sir?
We're still looking into that, Council President.
Okay. Had to be outer space, and I was wrong. I was just assuming it was the sky. That's okay. Who hires employees in Edison Township? I didn't realize when I was on the council, it was all hired through the mayor's office and personnel, that no supervisor or even director had the authority to hire or fire. They certainly could recommend it, but it was always approved by the administration. Is that still the case?
Mr. Cancro, how are people hired here?
Usually their positions are advertised, posted, interviewed. The decision is made to hire, and they're hired.
By directors or the mayor?
Usually by my approval.
Okay.
All right. And then you approved the temporary help in the tax office?
I approve the temporary help in the tax office.
Sure, come on, just say yes.
I think you should restate the question and
All right, we
and
had.
say what you really
We
mean.
had a non-employee working in the tax office recently. All I'm saying is, did you approve her as an employee?
I don't know what you're talking about, and maybe you should either put an open request in, or
Right.
clarify your question, or,
So you don't know that there was, well, maybe you could ask the gentleman next to you, because I think he's aware of it, because I think it's been discussed with other people about it. There wasn't an outside person brought into the tax office to help out temporarily who was handling cash because they were overworked or couldn't deal, whatever. I'm not sure why the reason. I'm just trying to understand how this person was hired, because I know we can't allow just any resident to come in and work in a tax office.
Situation was brought to my attention at the previous council meeting, which we're investigating, and
All right, so it's under investigation? All right,
Mr. Stevens, your time is up, sir.
okay, thank you.
Okay. Mr. Petroselli?